Welcome! In this video we're going to do a solo playthrough of Touch of Evil Dark Gothic, the deck building game published by Flying Frog Productions. Alright, so down at the table before we get into the setup and the gameplay, just in case you're new to the channel, deck building is one of my favorite mechanics. And Hugh over at Plaguelands Media reminded me I had this on the shelf, so I thought I'd bring it back out. It is a fairly older game. It's released in 2014 by Flying Frog. It's based on the colonial American Gothic horror setting of the popular Touch of Evil board game. So if you played that board game, a lot of the characters you'll see here in iconography is going to look very similar. So it is a cooperative and competitive game for up to 2 to 6 players. Of course, I'm playing solo, but I am going to do competitive on this. They do have rules for the cooperative game and optional rules for choosing your heroes. So as with most deck building games, we're going to start with similar decks. Well, most deck builder game, you all start with the same deck. Each of the characters is going to give you a different starting deck, but it's all going to be from the basic 4 resources. So we've got combat, cunning, spirit, and honor. And honor is basically a wild card you can use as any of the others. So here's what our combat looks like. It's going to be the red, cunning is green, spirit is blue, and honor is silver. So with those resources, we're going to be purchasing new cards out of a lineup of a lot of cards. Our goal is we need to defeat 3 villains. So there's a group of 3s, 2s, and 1s in here. So we have the Spectral Horseman. So we need 6 spirit and 6 fight to beat him. The Vampire Black Bay, Savage Werewolf. So and then on a group 2, got a Gargoyle, Dreaded Scarecrow, and a Banshee. Then our group 1 monsters is a Werewolf, a Creeping Terror, which looks familiar from Shadows of Brimstone, and then a Bog Fiend. So winning conditions in both competitive and cooperative, defeating all of those. Lose condition, it's going to be we get 10 cards up here called the Shadows. Different effects will make that happen. They're just going to be standard cards that go up there. If we get 10 of those up there, all players will lose the game. So inside of our main deck cards, we're going to have locations, events, some gear, allies, and somewhere some minions. There we go. In the upper left, the cost, like I said, gray. It just can be of any, but it has to be all the same color. So that has to be 6 of either the combat, spirit, or cunning. And then that has to be 2 cunning. And when you purchase the cards, they'll go into your discard pile. When you draw them back up, you'll play them for the effect down at the bottom. So first thing and the hardest thing for setup is shuffling all those cards together. Then we do have a die here. This is the Omen die. It goes from 1 to 4 on that. And the skulls are 0s or omens, so sometimes we'll be forced to roll that. Got a stack of Dark Secrets. They're all the same card. Certain things will put this in their deck, and they're always going to be bad for us. Basically, if this card is in your hand during your turn, it must be played before any other cards. Destroy this card and draw a Shocking Discovery, and those are all bad cards. But if you have this at the end of the game, it is -3 victory points. So there are victory points in all this, and that's how you'll decide who wins in a competitive game. Then we have all the Shocking Discoveries. Just going to be different effects that play out. So we'll go ahead and give that a shuffle. And then we have the Hungry Dead over here. Basically, this is an enemy we can fight every turn. It's going to take 1 of each resource. After the fight, you may destroy a card you have played this turn or a card in the center line. This card is never acquired and may never be destroyed or discarded in any way. So it helps you cull your deck of cards you don't want. Already seen the villains. Then we also have, basically these are upgrades of our starter cards. Instead of just providing 1 of each, they provide 2 of each and a cost of 3 to get them. And there are certain cards that will let us get more honor. So for setup, first thing we're going to do is attempt to shuffle all of these cards. So take this stack, give it a couple shuffles, do the same with this stack, and take half from here, mix it in with half from there, and don't think we'll ever see any of these. But just in case we go through the stacks or it turns into a super long game, then we'll finish these off. And we're going to take the top 6 to start our initial lineup of things we can purchase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we've got an ally we can purchase, some old woods, highwaymen. So mystery, whenever these cards go into lineup, we'll do this. Strike is basically attack against us. This is ignored for the initial setup though, but for the rest of the game, whenever mystery comes in, we'll have to do something. So Selena, an ally, got some gear and a location card. Our villains, we'll go ahead and get that set up. So we'll take the 3 group 3 ones, and this is all the core set. There is at least one expansion that I'm aware of in this game. So we got the 3s there. We need to beat that one last. Take our level 2s. So just looking at those again, what we need to defeat, their level. Some have a global effect. Most are going to have a fight ability and their victory points. Give that a shuffle. And then the level 1 baddie we'll need to take out. So the first one is the Bog Fiend. So we're going to need 5 cunning, 3 spirit. Global effect is all location cards, costs 2 more to acquire. Fight, so after we defeat him, you may destroy up to 3 cards that you have played this turn, and it's going to get whoever defeats it 7 victory points. So in a 2-player game, pretty much one of these gets 2 of those, good chance they're going to win. So we're going to take our heroes. We'll take a quick look here. We've got Heinrich Cartwright, Katarina Clark, Charlotte, Isabella, Mr. Morgan, Adriana, Brother Marcus, and Carl Harrison. Give these a shuffle and see which 2 we will end up with. Our first one is going to be Isabella. So you can see what her starting cards are going to be and her abilities. May discard any card from hand to block, so ignoring a strike or fight effect. Wealth, all gear cards cost 1 less resource to purchase. And then our next one is going to be Mr. Cartwright. With his starting cards, ability resourceful. Anytime you draw 1 or more cards during your turn, you may draw an extra card, then discard 1 of those cards. I think that's a pretty powerful ability, but we'll see if Isabella has anything to say about that. So her starting deck says she'll have 4 combat cards, 6 cunning, and then 2 spirit. So we'll give them a quick shuffle and draw 6 to start off with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there's starting hand. And Mr. Cartwright got himself 3 combat, 2 cunning, 6 spirit, and 1 honor. All right, so giving those a shuffle, getting 6 cards, and then I believe we are ready to get started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And for determining first player, we'll roll for Isabella. Whoever gets highest wins. So 3 versus a 4. Mr. Cartwright will be our first player. So like in most deck building games, you can play out your cards. You'll bank your resources and then spend them as you need to. So we did start out with some expensive cards. That takes 8 resources. That takes 4 fights, not even close. 5 spirit. 2 cunning, we only have 1. 3 combat and 3 spirit, almost, and that guy takes 2 cunning. So there's nothing in the lineup we can purchase. So he needs 5 cunning and 3 spirit, so we're just going to spend 3 to purchase some training. And the other 3 we have there is not going to do anything for us. Sometimes it just happens that way. 3, 4, 5, 6. So next turn we'll at least get to do our ability here. So Isabella. At least she got some green. So she's going to spend 2 of that to pick up the militia. Cards get immediately replaced, so we got a Sandman. All right, we're going to spend 1 of each resource to take on the Hungry Dead. So we may destroy a card you have played this turn or a card from the center line. So we could get rid of some of these expensive ones, but we're going to start thinning our deck down, and we've got a lot of cunning, which is kind of needed. So we'll go ahead and get rid of a combat and end our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, we'll start by using his ability. So anytime you draw 1 or more cards, we draw an extra one, then discard 1 of those. So this gives us 1 honor and drawing a card. So of course I'm all eyeballing anything that would potentially have us draw some cards. So start, we got Spirit or Cunning. Let's go ahead and lay out what else we have to see if that helps my decision. I think we'll keep the Cunning and go ahead and spin that. This will help thin our deck down. You may destroy a card from your hand or discard pile. That gets replaced with Lord Handbrook. We acquire this card, also take a Dark Secret, but I think he's worth them for 3 wild. We just don't have the resources now to get it. So we are going to spend 3 to get some more cunning and end our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 1 more card on the way. Cunning. All right, for her. Well, let's see. Gear cards cost us 1 less. Well, that's the only gear. We need 3 fight to take care of it. Yep, sometimes the cards out there are going to be tough to get. Let's see. What do we need to purchase most things? We need some spirit. So we'll spend 3 there to get an intuitive hunch. And then draw back up to 6. Then over here, well, 2, 2, and 2. Go ahead and get up Lord Handbrook and get a Dark Secret, but that gets us 3 wild. Just have to deal with this here in a bit. That gets replaced with a Disturbing Reflection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, see if we can get enough to purchase something good. Well, we're going to go for training. We'll spend 3 blues to get a better blue, 3 greens to get a better one. And see what that gets for us next turn. So over here. Spending 4 spirit to get our Disturbing Reflection, duplicate the effects of any other card you played this turn except a vampire. And that comes out with the Tools of Science. And then with that 3, we'll go ahead and get this, which brings out his brother. So we got 3 to start with. And see how soon we draw into our Dark Secret. Not yet. All right, got our ally out. We've got 4 fight. Our gear is 1 cheaper, so we can spend 3 to pick up a wooden stake. Which brings out the Reverend. We're going to spend 3 to destroy some cunning. And end our turn. 5 more cards on the way. Wooden stake. So we're going to start by drawing a card. We'll keep that, discard this one. Then with the Highwayman, may destroy a card from your hand or discard pile. We'll go ahead and destroy that. Then lay those out. We will spend both of those. Pick up the Reverend. It's going to get us a Dark Secret. Replaced with the Ghost in the Fog. Then we're going to play this as Honor. And discard that. So we've got 5 wild. And with 5 wild, we're taking Selena. So I think he's getting off to a pretty good start here, but neither one of us are getting close to that. Except maybe that turn we did a little bit. We've got some Dark Secrets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's our Dark Secret. So next turn we have to lead with that. Miss Von took. So 2 fight, all vampires, cost you 1 less to defeat this turn. Got a lot of fight. We'll spend 4 and 2 to get some Tools of Science. Placing with the Power of Fear. So Mystery, it's an event. Roll the Omen die and add that many cards from the top of the main deck to the shadows. That's not good. Its ability is draw 2 cards and roll the Omen die. If you roll the Omen, add one of those cards to the shadows. Ooh, that's a terrible card unless someone else is winning and you want to end the game. All right, so rolling the die, got a skull, which counts as a 0, so nothing gets added to the shadows. And with 3 that, we're going to get a hunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're starting with our Dark Secret. Destroy this card and draw a Shocking Discovery. We have discovered a Dark Storm. All heroes must discard from play any cards they have that are listed as remains in play, so that didn't affect anyone. Then we're going to be crazy and buy this card that's iffy. Abandoned Keep. So 3 more cards coming. Two, 3. All right. I've got some spirit. Too much spirit. All right, we'll spin that to pick up a pistol, which gives us some options. Into a gunpowder keg. Actually, our gear is 1 cheaper. It didn't just cost us 1. See, choose a card in the center line to destroy. If it was a minion, acquire in horror, or you may destroy this card to gain 5. I'll spend 1 of each to get rid of some combat. Then we're going to get some cunning. So 3 cards, 3 more on the way. All right, get to use our ability. We've got a wild, and we will keep the Reverend. So plenty of spirit, just not enough cunning. One short in the cunning department. We can get up to 4. All right, we're going to use that over here and those 2 to get a workshop. Gives us a wild. We may take a gear from our discard pile into our hand. At the end of the game, we gain a victory point for each gear in your deck. And another gear comes out. Nothing we can buy with the other 2 cards. So now both of us are getting gear. So this one gives us cunning. Till the end of the turn, we can use all of our cunning like it was wild. So use that as a wild. Don't need to, because gear costs us less. Brings out some healing herbs. Basically, that card gives it his main ability, which we can purchase for 3, so we will. Brings out some more herbs, and we're done. So the Bog Fiend is just terrorizing the neighborhood as we play around searching for gear. Let's see what we get started with. It's wild. Got 4 wild. Gonna roll the Omen die and roll that many cards. 2, so we get to draw 3 and discard 1. But this card is in your hand, which we did just draw it. Must be played before any other cards, but I think we'll finish what we were already doing. So we'll discard that one. We're getting a Dark Secret or a Shocking Discovery. Discard any cards from your hand that have an investigation value of 2 or higher, which will be that. All right. So we can get up to the 5 cunning, and we can get 2 spirit, so 1 short. So we'll use that as cunning. That is combat. Get an abandoned keep. Then draw the top card of the main deck and add it to the shadows. With murder, 1/10 of the way done, and our turn is done. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, what do we have over here then? 2 of everything. All right, we've got the cunning, 1 short on the spirit. I'm going to spin that to pick up the Ghost in the Fog. Places with an old axe. Then we'll spend 3 of that to get a hunch. And that will end the turn. All right, how bad of a move was this? Draw 2 cards and roll the Omen die. If we roll the Omen, add 1 of those cards to the shadows. So first, we're drawing 2 plus 1. Then we're going to discard this one and roll. And it's a 4, so we get to keep them both. Then we'll play that to do this something similar. Ooh, roll the omen die and draw cards, or get a definite 2. We're going to keep that. What do we have down here? We're going to play this to duplicate the effects of her honor. We're going to take the strength of spirit. So we don't have any gear cards in the discard pile, but that gives us 1 wild. So with all that, and actually that's a wild too, that's going to get us our 5 cunning. And then since this is that one, that gets us, oh, I think I bought a location earlier and didn't pay 2 more for it. Oh well. Too late now. You may destroy up to 3 cards that you have played this turn. And that will get there. So 3 cards getting destroyed. It's going to be those 2 and this one. And in the turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tell you what, when I find that location, yeah, I'll just discard it and get another one. And make things a bit more fair since it never made it into play. Our next villain, got a Banshee. Her wails can be heard for miles around Langmire, wailing in the night, followed by human screaming, then silence. Fight, every hero must destroy 2 cards from their hand, discard pile, or that they have played this turn, and 9 victory points. All right, see what kind of spirit we can get. Not nearly enough. Well, locations are the right price now. Seeing if I'd bought any over here. So we're going to spend 3 and 3 for the woods. Place that with some gear. And we can spend, well, we're overspending, so we still have 1 left to get some more gear. Honorable gesture. And we're done. So shuffling. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, wild of 3. We're going to purchase some gear for full price. Placing with an event. Then we'll spend 4 for some healing herbs. Gets replaced with an event. Draw the top card of the main deck and add it to the shadows. Then drawing 2. And shuffle, so we got 4 more coming. All right, see what we've got to work with. Got options on that one. All right, we're going to spend 3. We're going to take murder. Placing with a disturbing reflection. And we'll spin 1 of each to destroy a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, over here, we've got no gear cards in the discard pile. Draw 2 and discard a card. Or draw 3 and discard 2. We'll keep the honor and play it. Drawing 2 and discarding. And we'll test our luck with our ally, rolling the die and drawing that many cards. So we're 3 plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will discard the blue. Well, yes. We're going to duplicate the effects of the ally. Play that for another wild, and then draw 3 cards and discard 1, then roll the omen die. Yep, this guy's kind of broken. Discard that one, roll the omen, and we're good. All right, so we've got 7, 8, and 2 combat. The hero must destroy 2 cards from the hand discard pile or that they have played this turn. All right, we'll get rid of those 2. And over here, all right, so we've got that, and options. We'll make it blue along with that to get another disturbing reflection. So this game is pretty much his, if we can end it. It gets replaced with a searching for the truth. Sometimes it happens this way. Cards out there don't work or someone just breaks away. We'll see if Von Took can do anything about that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. All right, we'll bring this into play. Once per turn, roll the omen die. On a roll of the omen, we gain 1 per book. This counts as 1. And we've got our old woods. Yes, we'll see what this is. 6 combat. 4 spirit. Ancient and powerful, the vampire of Black Bay is said to have originated from distant Europe. Vampire Black Bay requires an extra 1 wild to defeat for every full 2 cards currently in shadows. So it's going to be 1 additional of something. And books, we played 3 books, so we've got 3 more green. Actually, 3 more blue. We got tons of spirit. But we need tons of fight, so we're going to spend all that on some training. Then more fight. And use that for some more fight. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Mr. Cartwright gets to draw. We'll keep the wild. We're going to draw 3 and roll the die. So discarding this one. So that means this goes up here. And I think we can end it. We're going to play the gear, play the event to copy the effects of that. Then we'll use, let's see, all that for spirit. So that's going to give us our 4 spirit we need. Then we're going to need 6 fights. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we need 1 extra of any type, which will be that. And the bat is dead. And Mr. Cartwright, I believe, dominated this one. So victory points are going to be scary for him. So take all of his cards and add those up. All right, first I'm getting all of our gear cards. So this card's going to be worth 3 since we have 2 other gear. Here's all our starters that are useless. So there's going to be 10, 20, 30, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. All right. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 for him. But that's going to happen when you take out all 3 of the baddies. And see if she got anything. If she made it to 20, I'd feel good. All right, wasted starter cards. All right, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll take that one back, make sure I counted it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20. I got half. Got up to 25, which is pretty impressive considering there's 25 points right there. True, it did kind of steal some points from there, but yes, Mr. Cartwright took her out pretty easily. So that's the basics of how to play A Touch of Evil Dark Gothic. As always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough, so please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.